Hi everybody. This is going to be our second weekly recap. It's going to be from episodes 481 through 486. So hope these are helpful. Hope you guys are liking it, and we'll just see you next time. Hi everybody. This is Sam with Python Basics, and we need to regress for a little bit and apologize and a touch of embarrassment. I cannot believe that I have not talked about the items method for a dictionary. So alright, let's just jump into it. So alright, we have a dictionary here, and this is going to be very fitting for next video. So alright, let's put this into memory. So there we go. We have a dictionary of some ingredients and their unit of measurement in grams, because we're actually going to graph these next video. So alright, here we are. We're going to run dir on this, and we need to look at items, because what we're going to do is we're going to unpack this. Because as a dictionary, we can't do anything with it. We need to split these into two lists. So when we look at items, the item method, what it does is it breaks it out into tuples. And the way that we can unpack this is we literally we use our splat, but we use it on a dictionary, and we do it just like this. So let's look. So we're going to call it group, then amount, then equals, and then we're just going to do so our zip splat, and then we do d.items method. Did I close it out? Yep, I did. Boom. And groups. No, it's just group. And then amount. So alright, so here we go. That's how you do this. This items gets you a list of tuples, and then when we have a list of items, we know how to use the splat. But I cannot believe that we left this out, so I apologize, guys. But real quick video today. This is the items method for dictionary object, and we're going to utilize this next video. So we're going to do some pretty cool stuff with it, learn about some pyplot that we have not touched on yet. So alright, so last video we broke out a dictionary, and because this is how you'll have the information. But if we want to graph this, we need to break it into two lists or arrays or anything like that. So this is perfect for us. So we have our group and our amount. So alright, what we're going to do today is we're going to learn about a new from matplotlib import pyplot as plt. Can't remember. Think you can see that now. Okay. Bar chart. Now you might say, well, that's a histogram. Well, no, it's not. So histograms, we just gave it one set of variables, and we dumped it in, and it basically counted it for us, if you recall. I'll go ahead and put that up right here. So we gave it a list of numbers or grades or letters, students per grade, and it tabulated it for us, and it put it in bins. Well, let's say we wanted to graphically represent. So you can look at this, but for me, picture tells me I'm a very visual person. tells the story much better. So a bar chart for ingredients in milk is a perfect idea. There's other really good ones. House sales prices, things like that. But now there are some that go back and forth that do fall under histogram. But a bar chart is completely different. So let's just get into it. All right, we also need Numpy. So import Numpy as MP. So okay. As always, guys, thanks for being here. If you're new here, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button and the notification bell, because we got videos like this coming out all the time. And last video explains what all this is, so make sure you go back and see that. So okay, we got our two items here, and let's just bring in plot plt. Let's bring in help plt dot bar. Oops. On. Did I not run this yet? Well, that's embarrassing. There we go. Aha. Okay. So here's some good stuff. So we are plt dot bar. So okay. You see that? Hope I put this in the right spot. Okay, good. Perfect. So all right, we're going to mess with the width. And now bar is a little weird, so we gotta unpack a lot of this, no pun intended, since we just unpacked some stuff last time. So all right, this is gonna be a little weird. So we have our grouping here, we got that already done, so that's good. So all right, let's get in here our figure, our axis, and then let's do plt dot subplots, and then we got that. Okay, we're gonna do the ticks in a minute, but this is where, now bear with me, I'm gonna explain why we're assigning a variable in a couple videos, but just bear with me. This is gonna be the plot right here. So okay, stop bar, and then we give it, now here's the goofy part. This took me a while to really wrap my head around. So not only, so here are, we have our amounts, and then we have our grouping. So we take care of this with the X ticks. So just hang in there with me. And you're also gonna see why we imported Numpy. Numpy.arrange. Okay, then we got to take in len of, you can do either one, but let's do group. Close this out. There we go. And then we're going to give it amount. And then plt.show. So, all right, we're going to go through this real slow. Okay. So here we are. This zips these together. So this is 0 index 1, 2, 3, 4. This has to be here, and then I'm going to show you when we do the tick mark in a minute what this is. So that's our cholesterol, which is very, very low. This is our sodium, and we'll go from there. So now, so this is our index. That's why we had to do, we're taking the length of it. We'll unpack this real slow. We're taking the length of it. Then we're creating an index. So 0, 1, 2, that's our X. And then the amounts are our Y. Everybody get that? I'll do that one more time. So this is your index. It wants to know how many places do you want to have for your bar chart. Doesn't matter. It doesn't label this here. Okay. We're going to take care of this labeling with our ticks. X tick. All right. So this is an array of how many. All right. So then you pass in your value, and it takes care of that. So now let's close this. Now let's do our PLT_X ticks. Okay, so now we got to give it another array for our index, right? Okay. Dot arrange. And you might say, why are we using our arrange from Numpy? Well, we could do a range function, then wrap that. So we take our len, then wrap that in a range, then wrap that in a list. I don't know. I like to keep it simple and cut out a step. And we know what this does, so we get to be a little fancy. All right. So then we do len on group. Okay, close that out. And then we're going to give it group. Got me? Okay. So now let's do this. So boom. Here we are. We have a bar chart of our carbohydrates, our cholesterol, our fat, our protein, and our sodium. So now let's get a little fancier. Now let's neaten this up a little bit. Width. Now it defaults. Anybody notice this? I kind of left it here. Width, it defaults to 0.8. Let's shrink this down a little bit. Width equals 0.5. I don't know. I think it makes it a little bit neater, brings it in. Just, it's more symmetrical. Wow, that was ugly. So okay, we're getting a little long in the tooth on this video. There's a couple of other things that we can do to tweak this. You know what? Let's just do it now. Let's just put it all out on the table. All right, here's something cool you can do with ticks. Let's just, all right, rotation. I think it's 20 degrees around the axis. So here we go. So now if you want to get a little fancy, bring it up here, put a little tilt to it, and just looks better. I don't know, has a little touch to it. And then next time maybe we can put a legend and put a little use to this, add a little color. But all right, yeah, a little longer than I wanted to be on this video, but there was a lot here. We knew some of it, some we didn't, but we now know about bar chart, and they are not histogram. Bar is not histogram. They have a little crossover, but completely different. Histogram does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And we are going to go back and jump back with Pygame. And we've learned how to draw. We've learned how to put things to the screen. We've learned how to move them around. We've learned how to make a border. We've learned how to make the window. We've gotten some logic with keys. Now, I want you to think about the bouncy ball. We had to do a lot of math and a lot of thinking about when the placement of the ball hit the side, and we had to figure that out. Well, that was kind of mean of me, and it was intentional to get us to think, but really now to see some shorthand. So all right, inside Pygame there is a module called sprite, and sprites are objects that move around but are basically built for collision. So they're more of a, so you can think about it, a solid object, and they will act that way. So let's just look at this real fast. So import Pygame. So let's run this and get this into memory. So, all right. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. This is what we do. We do one video at a time, and we build upon it. So, all right. Let's just look at dir and Pygame. We could just go ahead and look at this. All right, I have it paused. Go ahead and grab whatever you need. Oh, okay. Are y'all done? You're good. I stopped. I gave myself a gap, so now I know where to edit. You're good. I just didn't want you to be in there and you need something and you couldn't do something. You're good. You're good. All right, y'all done? All right, love you. So, all right, let's come up here and sprite. There it is. Okay. So let's do help, then Pygame dot sprite. So, okay. Let's just look at some of the documentation. Like I said, we're getting more sophisticated, so guess what? The modules are getting more sophisticated, and guess what? So that means the documentation getting more sophisticated. So, all right. Sprite class, base class, design, high efficiency, and then we can add and remove. Oh, I saw it a second ago. But basically this is to handle collisions, and basically it has its own place and no one is allowed in it. So think about your bricks and things like that. So very, very powerful, very, very handy, and we're just going to jump right in it. Boom. So this, I'm getting super excited. Have a lot of ideas, and we're just gonna jump into it. So real short video today. I've gotten some awesome feedback here recently. A lot of subscribers, a lot of new thoughts. Just super excited to see where we're going. Kind of can't wait to see where we end up. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and the notification bell, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if this is the type of video you like. We're going to look back at pandas. So, all right, we've gotten pretty good at taking in and manipulating and maybe even starting to graph a little bit. So, all right, we're going to pick up on where we left off after grouping by years. So we would then count and sum the number of births for each year in Hawaii. So as always, if you are new here, thanks for joining us. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because this is what we do. We build one upon another. So we need to look at the describe method. So we have now this data frame, total birth year. Probably should have changed that to per year, but that is what it is. So, okay. And so it groups by the year and then counts and totals each of the births and counts them up for us, which is absolutely awesome. Runs a sum method. So now this is a absolutely perfect example or use of the describe method, and it is a data frame method. So like always, birth year describe. Okay, so now let's go into it. So this confirms that this literally just counts the number of rows. So there's 108 occurrences from year 1910, I believe, 1910 through 2017. All right, then mean, the standard deviation, the min, the max, and now this is where this is cool. This is where the 25th percentile is, the 50th percentile, and the 75th percentile, and your standard deviation. So this can be, and this is a great example for that, so you can begin to look and grasp, and we're going to do something next time that's pretty cool of adding a row and doing a little bit of math. But this is a very powerful and very handy method to make sure that we knew about. I almost forgot about it, was going to move on, but this is a perfect data frame to do this with. Because if you just were to do this on the original, it'd look all kinds of weird. So alright, it just goes, get the right count, but then your min, and then if you remember, it has each line. So your minimum is 5, and that was for each name, so that's not a very good example. But when we start to manipulate, these are the things that really start to shine of that. So we're just going to keep building on this, and we're going to look back at Numpy. So we're going to look at a very handy function in the Numpy module, column stack. So you may guess, here, let's get this in here. So if you're new here, thanks for joining us. If you've not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe watermark and the notification bell. We got videos like this coming out all the time, and we build on them, as you'll see. And if you've been here a while, thank you guys. So all right, we're going to take these two Numpy arrays and we'll put them in memory, and we'll just look at them. So we got X and Y. So now let's make a Z Numpy dot column, and as you may guess, column stack. If you think about it, we're talking about columns, right? So they're going to take whatever order of array, and you pass this in as a list. And let's close this out. And here we go. So there's our X, and there's our Y. And it is that simple. Column stack. It stacks the columns in the order in which you pass them. So real quick, real short video today, and we're just going to start unloading on all these because they are very powerful, very handy, and there's just tons of these like this in the Numpy module. We're going to talk about something that is getting pretty low level for Python. So all right, let's just jump into it. So I'm sure you've seen main functions. Well, main functions are what we name and what we create, and we're going to start building on this just as always. So if you're new here, thanks for joining us. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I don't want you getting lost. So all right, I'm sure you have seen this somewhere. And we are going to talk about it, and you are going to get it. So all right, and we're going to look at this. So all right, that double underscore main is not the same as this. So we're going to talk real slowly about this, because I thought if you named, well, we're getting already ahead of myself. We're just going to go through this like everything we do. Okay, We're going to look at dir. So we have a main function, then we have our x variable. So this is how we're going to really look at it. So all right, let's get rid of this. Okay. Name. This is what this is. So bear with me. Whatever file you run, whatever script you run, its name becomes main. You do not need a main function. It is the primary file script program, however you want to look at it. It's the primary. It is the main program script file. Okay? So now let's look at this. So all right, see how I'm printing off double underscore and I have X sitting in memory and I just deleted main. See, this is what threw me off. You do not need a main function. The double underscore, its name, its double underscore name is double underscore main. And we're going to explain this and more in a second. So all right, I printed this out inside this file and I get main. Now I'm going to pull a different file. I want you to look at this. So I have a new file test. I'm importing my other file ideas. Then I'm printing name for this. So I will now get 2 names to print out. And I want you to look at this. So now this runs first, right? It imports, runs, then it's going to then what? Import, bring in to this file into the interpreter, into memory, prints this off. Aha. Now, since this is not the primary, not the main function, I get the name of the file, ideas. All right, does that make sense? Now, then let's go back to our test. Then I asked it to print the name of what this is. And lo and behold, I get main, because this is the main file, the main script. Boom. Now, secondarily, I want you to look at this. X is gone, because this is a secondary effect. This, everything in here only happens on my indentation. Everything in this indentation will only happen if this is the main file. It will not occur because this is false. So this happens to protect activity. If it is imported, it becomes null and void. But if it is the main file, and we're going to see more of this very, very soon. So I wanted to touch on this because this is what builds, where you build modules and packages down the way for us to do it, but we're going to do it. And I wanted to have a lengthy discussion about this because I had misconceptions and misunderstandings when I was started. I want to solve all those, and I only want to tell you what it is, not what I thought it was. There we go. So if I've left out any gaps, if I still didn't cover this, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. We'll talk more about it. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.